big buzz about 5G and what's going to happen 5G and with the traditional HFC network that the communication service providers have, or the telcos, and what's the deal with 5G?
Well, I mean, most of the service providers, I can't say most, but quite a few have wireless services as well, right? Mm-hmm. So you have your traditional video content, your cable, whatever, TV, and then they also have wireless offerings. It's fairly common. So they're operating two systems. Today's 4G and LTE networks obviously work on cell towers, and which cover a large area in kilometers. But with 5G, the big difference there is they're going to be using different frequencies, but they're also going to be, instead of the large towers that they have now covering larger areas, they're going to need a lot more smaller towers, which they call small cells, pico cells, and femto cells, which are going to be distributed out into the network. So how do they integrate all these multiple smaller cells into their network? The biggest advantage, which is interesting, is that the traditional HFC, the traditional cable providers, are better positioned today to deploy 5G than telcos, who early on went straight to fiber to the home. The HFC plant already has power out there, and that's going to be their big leverage. They can deliver power to these smaller cells and just convert their HFC plants to deliver their power. So it's a unique opportunity for the HFCs, or a unique opportunity for the CSPs to take their HFC plants and use them and quickly convert 5G services out in the field.
And they have space too. Like typically the power supplies are used at about half of their capacity, so yeah, it's definitely a good opportunity for them.
So basically replace the nodes with small cells, reuse some of the existing power, plus add more small cells to cover the last mile to the homes, right? So basically the small cells 5G would cover wireless, mobile as we know it today, would cover the data and the video service offerings that these communication service providers are offering, correct?
Yep.
So
all in one package, one distribution.
Okay. So basically the cable and the wireless would come together. So this is interesting because from a data perspective, having this data all in one location to really dig into the data and find out what is going on as today we are looking at two different systems, all analog technology, that it's hard to mine this data. So going to a 5G integrated system would even make it seamless to collect all of this information. So we would see a real amalgamation of cable and wireless companies.
But even more so from, 5G we've heard the buzzword for years about the Internet of Things.
Mm-hmm.
So the Internet of Things is going to be, you name it, from toasters to fridges to doors to video surveillance cameras to wearables to you name it. Everything is going to have a sensor on it. And getting back to your point, the 5G network will be a big collector of that data. Mm-hmm. So the amount of data coming back is going to just be astronomical. You're going to have terabytes coming into this constant stream of data being processed. So these 5G cells are not only going to be, for your traditional wireless service, your phone and voice, and yes, video on demand, but it's also going to be processing a large amount of data out on the edge. So instead of backhauling all that information, all that data to
Mhm.
central data and churn it, chug it, do whatever you gotta do, normalize it and send it off and analyze it and then send a response back out, you're gonna see a lot of that edge processing out on the edge quickly. Certain things will be done quickly and then only certain information will get backhauled back.
But that edge processing is also an opportunity to offload a little bit from the data centers, from this, and where power density also becomes almost unmanageable. So in a way, from the energy point of view, you're modularizing somewhat and make it more manageable, I guess.
So where are we with the alternate power of these outside plants? You don't see much solar out there, you don't see much, is this something that is developing?
Well, it hasn't broken yet the point where it's less costly, I guess. The initial investment is quite substantial, but with all these edge devices, and I mean, it's opening up opportunities to like I said, it's more manageable, smaller power sources. So, mounting solar panels on telephone poles or rooftops, or maybe rent space on rooftops. So yeah, I think there is definitely an opportunity there to go more green, I think.
So it's going there. It's
Yeah,
not there yet.
eventually.
It's going there.
Yeah.
One of the big things with the energy is when you're using it to power the network is redundancy. You can put up a solar panel or whatever, but you have to be able, you're going to be running critical services off your 5G network. The businesses and are going to be relying on these connections. If your power goes down and it's not redundant, it has to be solid out there. So that's going to be another.
But to a certain extent, though, there's inherent redundancy in the fact that you're so modular and granular that one failure will only affect a very small pocket. They can go to the next street over or whatever. Whereas when everything is centralized, if something happens here, everybody's down, right?
So we might see a big mesh network of all these small cells having the small cells backing up another pocket and seeing
So the
this
design-
mesh. Yeah, the design will be much more
Will be
different.
yeah. Well, we're doing it with fiber now, with nodes where we have redundancy. There's always a backup in case.
Correct.
Yeah.